officially announce the winner of today's Tifa Supreme Creative Learning Playful Drag Queen Pageant goes to drum roll.
It's the fabulous Cyclops!
Hiya, I'm David Anderson. I work at the University of Lincoln and I'm the School Director of Teaching in the Business School.
I'm Gary Morgan, I'm from Beyond the Skills, which is a creative learning startup.
I'm Pen Holland, I'm from the University of York and I'm a Professor of Ecology and Education.
I'm Isabel Murillo, I'm a Senior Lecturer in Microbiology at the University of Bristol.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Vicky, and we are both affiliated with the University College of Copenhagen.
So I've just run a session called Unlock the Fun, which is about designing your own educational escape room.
Today was really interesting actually. We presented a game called Enigma, which is all about staying curious in times of uncertainty and ambiguity.
I've just run a session called Here Be Dragons, which is about using dragons to write essays to take the pressure off students from being right and let them focus on the process of crafting a narrative and evidencing and justifying their arguments.
I introduce an escape room to use in education, and I use what we can define as a low-cost escape room.
We held a session where we explored the failures of play.
And our participant in our session first had to discuss some dilemmas within this. Yes, and it's actually putting Jacob and I into total playful failure.
So in the session, we spent half an hour or so unlocking some of the escape rooms. There were 3 different ones, and the second part of the session was looking through the templates that's been built into this project to be able to design their own subject-specific escape room.
And what I wanted to share with the attendees to this conference is how to do your own escape room. A little bit, cheaper.
We designed this originally for international MBA students, and we were asked to develop the skills of taking initiative and ambiguity, which felt quite a tricky exercise, a tricky thing to do in a 45-minute experience, but that's how Enigma was born.
Yeah, I think it's very interactive and engaging activity that you can use for any discipline. It's very versatile.
And it's been played now by over 1,000 groups, both in higher education but also in industry to help them navigate ambiguity.
I think what was fascinating in that session was I was asking people to reflect on the dragons that might be relevant across the disciplines. So I come at this from an ecology perspective. What kind of dragon might live in this habitat? How might a dragon fly? But I wanted to know if you could use dragons across the disciplines, and the team have just come up with some amazing questions like, if a dragon played a musical instrument, what would that look like? And so you're throwing yourself into a whole new world that's not just thinking about biology, but about culture and about, what would music mean to a dragon? Do dragons play? Things like that.
And I think we succeeded quite well.
Yes. And we also want our participants to talk about what is play actually.
Yeah.
We can see it, we can hear it, we can talk about it, but very few people can actually tell us what play is.
Well, listen, we had different groups that had very different experiences. The first thing I asked the group, and this is as a matter of course, is how do you feel? How did that challenge? How did being in ambiguity and uncertainty make you feel? And often they talk about that feeling of being frustrated, being a bit stuck, being a bit lost, not knowing where to turn. And those are really tricky emotions, quite big emotions, that then stops our sort of rational brain kicking in and going, what do we know to be true here? Let's be open, let's be curious, let's ask good questions, and let's find the next point of clarity rather than the solution, the answer.
For educators to be able to use escape rooms, there's quite a large learning curve in working out how to design them and how to put them into their one particular module. What this escape room is focused on is doing innovative pedagogy at scale. So it's how you can take an escape room and do it in any subject rather than just one subject specifically. So it doesn't matter which subject you're in, which level you're working at, the templates that are used in this escape room are something that can be adaptable. So it's opening up escape rooms to the wider playful academic.
This is a playful learning tricorder
it's important that you can scan for psychological safety, curiosity, trust in the journey, self-reflection, room for spontaneity, agency, and flows. So this one you can use it for scanning. If these parameters are present, then you are pretty good going.
We introduced this challenge today in response to the surprise and disguise thematic. I thought it really fit within that approach. We design experiential learning products, right? So they are genuinely playful. But what I'd say is they're playful in a very purposeful way. They help develop and highlight and help people practice very specific things, but in a really playful and experiential. And I was going to say fun. Some people would have found that challenge very fun. Other people would have found it different. But either way, it's a big learning experience.
Yeah. The aim is revise, to have a deep learning with all this activity. And at the end of the boxes, they found the solution. In this case, is the name of antibiotic that can cure the disease.
I mean, I got into playful learning as a modeler who wanted a way of explaining complex systems to people, and so game-based learning was a way of making it personal. I ended up with dragons because, again, I think it's about finding a way into a topic for people that didn't terrify them, that was very inclusive. And the thing about dragons is they're universal. Everyone, no matter where they're from in the world, has a concept of what a dragon is. And so even just talking about what is a dragon, how many dragons have wings, can they all fly, do they all breathe fire? We know they don't, but they're still things that we think of as dragony. That's an icebreaker that has no pressure behind it, but most people will find really interesting and fun. If a dragon played a musical instrument, what would that look like? And so you're throwing yourself into a whole new world that's not just thinking about biology, but about culture and about, what would music mean to a dragon? Do dragons play? Things like that.
Well, I certainly hope that a dragon would know his scales.
Amazing.